These women are not loyal. Women are cheating on their husbands and then instantly regretting it. Today's video comes from Soraya. Her channel will be linked in the description. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
I told this man from day one, my money is my money and his money is our money. Why should I spend my money paying the bills?
You know, the first time I have seen this video, I thought to myself, what is a man supposed to do with a woman, or what is a woman supposed to do with a man if he or she can count on that person when times are tough, when help is really needed, when support is required, when commitment is asked on a daily basis, when you have to show up and deliver with no questions asked.
So many of you will have seen my other videos by now where we discuss how society is coming after men for walking away, for choosing not to get into relationships, for dropping out of society, going on disability, or just working very simple jobs, maybe some DoorDash or Uber Eats, making just enough to survive and thrive and no more, and choosing not to get married, not to have children, and instead just focus on themselves. Of course, they don't say that men are being pushed out of society. They don't talk about how men are being treated in society. There are all of these videos online, and society does not care about men. Society does not care that men are being punished for just existing. Society does not care that there's a massive double standard for men in society. As I've said, you're not going to hear it from anyone else. It took me so long, many years of my life, to fully understand what's going on. Men are prisoners of the state and women are agents of the state. They operate as agents of the state. They are given special privileges while men are given special punishments. And it is their job to reallocate wealth and resources from men to the state. And they do it through divorce court, criminal court, family court. It doesn't really matter how they do it, but by doing it, the state gives them a cut, the state gets its cut, and everyone is happy. So of course they're all going to continue gaslighting men and acting like, of course, men are not walking away, because of the way they're being treated in society by society and women and simps. No, they're walking away because they're losers. They're walking away because of toxic masculinity. They're walking away because they're not, as intelligent as women are. They don't have the survival skills. They're not adapting to society as well as women. The crazy thing is you have women crying on social media that they cannot survive as a result of the inflation. Women are doing much worse than men are when it comes to survival right now. But of course, the fact that men are leaving society is going to be brought up more because men pay 80% of all taxes and women make 80% of all consumer purchases. We are not free. We are prisoners of this miserable state.
I don't know if you have read the caption, but today's video is going to be about this young lady, her mindset, and not even only her mindset, also her actions after she found out that her husband, I'm not talking about her fiance, I am not talking about her situationship boyfriend or side dude, I am talking about her husband. The one she promised to that they will go through thick and thin no matter what. She left this man because he lost his job. Not only that she left him, she got with his friend.
He came home and he was like, babe, I lost my job. I'm like, all right, cool. So a month later, like it was time for the bills or whatever, and I'm like, the bills due, babe, or whatever. And he was like, okay, I'm not working. And I'm just, in a month, like, it's all kind of hustles. You could have been doing something or whatever. So I told him, I said, look, if I pay these bills, are you going to pay me the money back?
Pay you the money back? Honey, you live in that household too. I don't understand why it's so hard for some women to understand that when you live in a household, when you have an income, when you know how to spend money for yourself or money on your friends and on yourself, then you should be in a position to pay the bills when your man cannot. Gentlemen, I understand that the majority of you are providers, leaders, guiders. I get that. But when you have a woman with this type of mindset, and ladies also, let this be a lesson to you. If you have this type of mindset, you are not wifey material. A wife is not supposed to be just to, sit on the couch or go to work, chill with her work husband, get her hair done, get her nails done. No, a wife also has to show up. And sometimes even has to be in the position of a provider when life throws situations at you. When you're in a relationship and you are about to reach the next level, get married, move in together or whatsoever, you have to make your finances very clear to the person that you are with. You have to lay down all the cards, all of them have to be lined up on the table and be like, this is what I'm in debt with. This is how much I make. This is how much I can spend. This is how much we can actually afford, even on a daily basis if you have to. If you are not able to communicate on this level of honesty and transparency, then you should not get married.
Now, here's the thing. Soraya often talks about women learning how to be feminine, but just because they learn how to act or emulate femininity, it does not make them feminine women because they are born with they are raised with masculine traits. By the time a woman is 7 years old, roughly seven, her personality is already set in. So if she was raised masculine, she is going to be masculine for the rest of her life. If you listen to what most women are now saying, things like they want a man who will cook for them, they want a man who will clean for them, but they will never cook and clean themselves because that's patriarchal, and that's a very very bad thing. Is that's discriminatory to women cooking and cleaning, but they need a man to do these things for them. The fact is that they don't respect us. So it's not patriarchal for men to cook and clean and provide for a woman and children, but it is patriarchal for a woman to cook and clean and provide for her family. Right. Do you see that? Basically, men have special privileges. Men have special punishments. Women have special privileges. And basically, women avoid responsibility while men are forced to take responsibility for everything while having no authority. Men are not stakeholders, men are prisoners. What prisoners of the state while women are agents of the state. So what benefit does a man have to give everything to the state, especially when the state is continuing to punish him for simply existing? If there's nothing that is more HATE'd than a man in Western society, we are disliked more than the cockroach. And it is very, very clear. And of course, as you're seeing all of these videos that are gaslighting people into believing that, oh, men are leaving society because they're just not able to they're not able to, be on the same level as women. It's an absolute joke. Look at the things that women are saying. Look at the quality of relationships that men have to choose from. No one in their right mind would get into this type of relationship. Okay, this is narcissistic abuse, and that's what men are basically facing. And I've said it plenty of times: a country without its men is not a country. A country without its men is a wasteland. If I'm going to be working, if we're in a relationship and I make money and you make money, you are covering some bills in the relationship. You are not there just to sit down and chill. I'm just gonna make that very, very clear. Okay? Like modern women, they have to bring something to the relationship. They are modern women. They are not traditional women. Now, can we maintain, certain roles? Of course, if I'll be masculine, you'll be feminine, but you have to be in your femininity. Mayumi, for example, I remember, I think it was, I don't know if it was it had to have been this past Christmas. Mayumi basically, hits me up and she's like, she's down. It was like 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the morning. And she told me she was up with the other ladies and all the men were asleep and they were like beginning to prepare meals. I forget if it was Christmas or Thanksgiving. It was one of those. And, they were all happy working together to prepare, the festivities and everything else. And that was so awesome. And the sad thing about it is that modern women don't think like this. Modern women, they have completely rejected these roles. They know nothing about being feminine. They know nothing about taking care of children and raising children. They know nothing about taking care of a man and making sure that a man's needs are met, making sure that a man is okay mentally and everything else. They don't like us. They only want us because they want our toys. They only want us because they want our money. They only want us because they want us to be disposable for them. But they absolutely do not like us, and they always have a man on the side. A recent study found that 50% of women admit to having a plan B guy, not simply a guy that they're being physically intimate with on the side, but a guy that they can immediately leave their husbands for and go to. That's how serious it is. Okay? They are not playing around. It's like, and then you have to think about it. 50% of women admitted to this, so that means the other 50% are lying. Marriage and relationships are a bad deal for men, but of course, men are always held accountable for everything, even things they are not responsible for. Men have responsibility but no authority. If you have responsibility without authority, you are an SLAVE. Okay? Now women think that they are on this pedestal saying things like, you're supposed to worship your mother, and if you worship your mother, you will worship women. That's an absolutely ridiculous thing to say. Because these are the same women who say they will never worship a man, they will not worship their fathers, but we're supposed to worship our mothers? It's a guys, it just shows you the decay of our society right now. And guys, if you're enjoying the content, check out the Angry Guy Clubhouse. Inside, you'll get exclusive videos, top tier expat and passport bro travel tips, digital nomad guys, passive income strategies, pop culture and geek culture commentary, and hard-hitting manosphere content. Free subscribers have access to videos, podcasts, articles, and the community chat. Plus, receive the passive income blueprint and digital nomad blueprints just for joining. Paid subscribers unlock even more value, including exclusive guides like the How to Build an Online Business in 24 Hours ebook, wealth building blueprints, and crypto updates. Join us today by clicking the link in the description and take your journey to the next level.
And why would I make that claim? I'm saying this because a lot of people are getting married for all the wrong reasons. They're getting married because they feel like, especially women, their biological clock is ticking. They're getting married because they're expecting someone to be there for them, when they need somebody emotionally, and when they're going through it mentally. They're getting married so they don't have to be alone and lonely. But what happens is when you lose your job? What happens if you get sick? What happens if something else happens that is not so nice? Something happens that throws you back. Those are the moments and those are the life situations that will tell you whether if the person that you are with, is that the right person, or is that person not reliable? Is he not, or is she not trustworthy? That's how you know. So if your partner loses their job and you got the money to pay for it, why not pay for it? What's the use in being in a relationship if you cannot support each other? Let's continue.
This man had the nerve to tell me, why should I pay my wife back for paying our bills? I told this man from day one, my money is my money, and his money is our money.
You see, guys, this is the reason why so many men walk away, and then they're like, "What, men? Why are you leaving?" Society, men, the simps, everyone could look at a video like that and simply say, "Well, I don't understand what the problem is." Yeah, your money is her money, and her money is her money. That's how it's supposed to be. You're the man. Guys, it's all a level of hypocrisy. Women's liberation ends when the bill comes, when the check comes, when the rent is due. That's when liberation comes to an end. This is why men are avoiding dating, because these are just foodie calls. They are being taken advantage. When women take advantage of men, they are praised. You go, girl. You get that money. When men take advantage of women, they end up in prison. They have documentaries made about them. Their names are slandered online. It's unbelievable the way that we are treated. Guys, the world has always HATE'd us, and society was built upon our labor, upon our backs. And then as soon as it had structure, as soon as everything was running solidly, our power, our authority was taken away from us. It started in the 1960s when public assistance was expanded and it went into the BLACK neighborhoods, and the men were put out of the homes, women took it, and by the early 1970s, 4 out of every 5 homes in the African American community were headed by a black woman. And that's just how they started the system, and then they expanded it to the rest of the United States. And now, if you look at how things operate, most households, even if there is a man in the house, we all know who's in charge. It's the woman, okay? Because men no longer have any authority in society. We built society, and the reason why men fought and even gave their existence for society, they went overseas and they surrendered their LIFEs for the system, for their countries, is because of the authority, because they were stakeholders in society and they wanted to protect the country that they loved so much. Men do not love this country anymore. This country has never loved men, and the irony of the country, Western society still wants to keep men engaged and running things. So basically, they want you to be demoralized. They want you to be fat. They want you to be lazy. They want you to be stupid. They want you to be just bright enough to keep things going, but not too bright to realize just how badly you're getting screwed. And you know who actually said this? George Carlin. And you know who's been saying it since the 90s? Since the 80s? Since the 70s? George Carlin, he told us all of this. He said from going back to the 1990s, he was on politically incorrect, and he would say the exact same things that he would say in his comedy skits, but no one would laugh. When he was on stage, I watched the exact same videos, and he would say the same things in in his comedy sketches, and people would laugh. They would laugh their butts off. You're right, and then he would go on politically incorrect, and he'd say the exact same thing, and no one would laugh because, guys, it was philosophy. He was telling us what was happening, and he told us who were the ones behind it. He told us who the people behind the curtain were. He was a member of the silent generation, and he said it was the baby boomers that were doing all of this. All right, he said it's the boomers. And of course, the boomers are going to step in, and they're constantly coming to my channel trying to correct me. Let me tell you something about these individuals. Like, this is the reason why you have to start using the bad hammer. I have nothing to gain. These people are. I had some baby boomer give me like $10 a couple of months ago and then wanted me to praise him for it. Are you out of your damn mind? And then when I called him out, he asked me for the money back. Guys, don't waste your time with the boomers. All right? Gen Z, the Zoomers and the boomers, many of y'all are starting to see it that they're the same people. They're the same people. They're desperate for money. Desperate for money, desperate to take whatever you have. Okay? This is what happens when you have in generations that are raised believing that they deserve something that they don't. They don't have to pass through various hardships. Many of the boomers did not pass through the kinds of hardships that they like to make you believe that they passed through. They almost always had an opportunity to find a job that would allow them to survive. If they went and trained, studied a trade, or went to college, they could find a relatively good job. Many of them, even without doing any of these things, could find a relatively good job. They're absolutely lying about so many things. While you were not going to, buy a house on a McDonald's salary, you definitely could pay some rent if you were working full time. Let's just be real about that, okay? These people are absolute and utter jokers. They had the best economy and they blew it. And they stole from their future. They stole from our futures to pay for their present. And they're absolutely still doing it because they've never been about planning ahead. It's always been about right now, living in the moment and enjoying the party. And the party is still going. That's the reason why they are now set to outlive every generation that has come after them. There is no generation projected that will have the same lifespan or longer lifespans than the boomers. Every generation after them is now doing significantly worse.
Why should I spend my money paying the bills? Like, no, he should have paid me back. So that's when I decided, like, I can't be with this man no more. So,
what man on the planet who has a right mind would let a woman dictate what he's supposed to do with his money? It's 2024. I understand that we are living during times where women have equal rights to men or as men, but for a woman to sit there and to say, your money is our money, and honey, my money is my money only, that's absolutely ridiculous.
You know what, to be honest, if you want to get out of a marriage, probably one of the easiest ways to get out as a man is just to tell the woman that you lost your job. Tell her that you lost your job and watch how she reacts. Okay? Tell her that she's going to need to go and step up a bit and start helping with the bills and start paying the bills. And while you're trying to recoup and rebuild yourself, she's going to have to pick up some of the weight. And sometimes the woman will chill for a couple of weeks, and then you'll notice that she's basically going off. And let me tell you right now, a woman breaks up with you long before she actually takes any action. So she broke up with you the moment you told her that you lost your job. She was already over you, okay? But she wasn't letting you know. She was continuing on and keeping things moving along while she was preparing to leave you. That's how women operate. A woman does not break up with a man. A woman does not break up with a man, right then and there. And let me put it this way. When a woman breaks up with you, it's not right then and there. She's already broken up with you psychologically a long time before the actual breakup occurs. Before she actually says that she's done with you, she's leaving, she's dropping, she's already thought about it. and put it into action long ago. This is how women are wired differently, and it takes time for men to fully understand this. The problem is that a lot of men are just too honest. As men, we are raised to be honest. Women, by nature, because of the way that they are conditioned in society, see dishonesty as plausible because no one holds them accountable for anything that they do. We live in a very, very dishonest society. And as men, we have to be very careful. It's so funny, though, because you have simps who do this stuff and then they don't want to take any accountability for their actions. I want you guys to really see what simps look like. Look at this comment. Look at this post I made. Do you repent for your past simping? This was a poll. And this guy responds, no, because it wasn't my fault. I did it sincerely because I wanted love. I was conditioned by society, media, by single mother, not to forget my natural inclinations towards women. I don't regret cause I learned, cause now I have a whole array of examples to learn from and never repeat that nonsense. So he takes no accountability for what he did. He takes no accountability for anyone that he hurt. He takes no accountability for any of his actions, and he blames society, he blames his mother, and he blames the media for his simping. This is the face of a simp. Let me tell y'all something. That is still a simp. Because a man takes accountability for his actions. He does not blame others for the poor choices that he's made. Now, can some people mislead you? Absolutely. But he takes no accountability for the choice he made to simp. So he will forever be a simp. You can't trust these people. You cannot trust these people at all.
I hope this is a skit, but from the way this young lady is talking and her energy, her body language, I think she's dead serious. And like I said, she's expecting her man to come out of his pockets even though he is unemployed at that moment or 30 days after. Now, I don't know about unemployment money. I don't know about the reason why he didn't apply somewhere else. But a way for a woman to show up in that situation besides being helpful financially is help him with his resumes. Make a couple of phone calls. I honestly believe that this woman never loved her husband, because to get up and decide that she cannot be with this man anymore just because of the simple fact that he is requesting or expecting some help out of her in that situation is really making me question her love. Are women able to feel love nowadays? Sometimes it seems like the only thing they love is themselves, money, material, attention, and drama. Oh yeah, and social media.
She never loved you. It was just your turn. She can like certain things about you. She can like how you look. She can like, qualities that you have. She can like things that you do for her. She can like things that you have, but she will never actually love you. The guys that she loves don't have to do anything for her. Pancho, Sancho, Miguel. These men, they get it all for free. All right? They get it up front for free. These are the men that are in her heart. Okay? For these men, she says, mi amor. Okay? This is how these women operate. They were never yours. It was just your turn.
Let's continue in this clip because it feels like this is just going to get out of hand.
I had sex with his homeboy. Like, we all cool. I texted his homeboy or whatever. We went together. We left. I met up with him. And we was chilling, we was drinking or whatever. And I started venting. I started getting emotional. One thing led to the next. I did not purposely mean to do what I did with his friend. But
friends, would you mind if I curse? That is a crock of bullshit. Why, women, why are you saying that you did not mean for those things to happen that had happened? That wasn't planned.
You see, the PUAs, they figured it out a long ago. It's called plausible deniability. Women never want to take accountability for anything that they do. If they are in a relationship with a guy, if they go to a party and they have a relationship with a guy, they don't want to take any accountability for the fact that they chose to be physically intimate with that individual. That is the reason why women can retroactively withdraw consent at any time, because they will always say that they never, ever had the ability to do so in the first place. All right? Women will always deny everything that they do, and they will always look for a way to deny it and to shift blame to someone else or something else. Notice the example of the miserable, evil, vindictive, spiteful simp that I gave you moments ago that would not take any accountability for the choices that he made. What do simps have in common with women? They have, that they have that type of energy, all right? That type of that type of energy that does not take accountability, that type of energy that does not take responsibility for anything, that type of energy that constantly deflects blame. They have that same type of energy.
Yes, it was planned. You always like your husband's friend. There is absolutely not one reason for you to call that man's friend and vent to him about the situation. Where are your female friends? Why didn't you get on the internet and cry? Like a lot of women just love to do nowadays, just be all up on the internet, just crying, going through it, just crying. You were just waiting for a situation to cheat on your husband. Oh, let me guess, you wouldn't even consider this cheating because one thing led to a next thing and it just happened. It just happened. His genitals just landed in your mouth, obviously. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry. But no. Woman, no, we don't buy it.
But things happen. Things happen. Like, y'all understand what I'm going through. So, his friend ended up giving me some money or whatever. And he was like, babe, look, don't worry about it. Handle whatever you got to handle. Like, his friend was every single thing I desire in a man. Like, everything I desire in a man. And, ain't nobody trying to hear my side. Ain't nobody trying to hear me out and what I went through.
Well, you know what? In this case, I cannot put all the blame on this woman because that man's friend is also completely out of pocket, disrespectful, and very, very disappointing. Like, you can't even trust your friends anymore nowadays. Why didn't he call his friend saying, your wife called me. There's something going on between you two guys. Can I do anything for you too? Can I be there for you as your friend? Call me back. Click. That's what I would expect out of my friend. So we cannot put all the blame on her. But she did mention something that rang my alarm bells. She said he was everything that I was looking for in a man. Why did she say that? Because he gave her some money. Now, is that proof for a lot of women just looking for one thing when it comes to a relationship? Money, status, net worth, material. And another thing that is so typical, sorry for waving my hands in the air all the time, but this just gets me so triggered. When women are in a situation, this goes for a lot of women, by the way, this is not about nobody's skin color. Also, a lot of white women, Turkish women, whatsoever, women do the same thing. When they are going through something, they just love playing the victim. So if you would address this woman, why did you cheat on your husband while he was in this situation, instead of being supportive to him? Why did you cheat on him? She would say, oh, I needed somebody, I needed a shoulder to lean on. I needed a strong man by my side because I was going through it. The situation was so tough on me. I just didn't know who else to turn to besides my husband's friends that I fell in the bed with.
These ladies are not loyal, nor have they ever been loyal. They never actually have your back, nor did they ever truly want to be with you. They were simply with you because you were providing a utility to them. And once you are of no value, they will simply pick up and move on to the next one because that is how their brains actually operate. It was just your turn.
Really? How did you go through it? From what I can see, your nails are done, your hair is done, there is electricity running in your household. You don't look like you're starving. So what exactly did you go through, woman? What is it? What is it? Her proper reaction would have been, I messed up. I left my husband behind. I made a mistake. Instead of being there for the person that I was supposed to love the most, I stepped out of my marriage during a period of his life where he needed me by his side. That would have been very proper. She would have had my respect. But that is taking accountability. A lot of women don't like doing that. And when we address them, then they get upset at me, at you. But there's nothing wrong with, and there's a reason why us content creators are using these videos, because we are trying to talk about a certain topic, trying to teach you a lesson and keep you from making a mistake like that. It doesn't have to be the similar situation. It could be something else. It could be sickness. Your partner could be getting sick. You may be overwhelmed with the situation, and then you may want to step out of your marriage because of the situation. But no, that's wrong. Us as individuals, especially if you are in a relationship, when you have a family, we have to learn how to be patient, understanding, loving, caring, empathetic, and honest. If you don't have these attributes, you need to work on yourself. We need to stop running away from situations the moment we feel uncomfortable. See, society and the system, and especially social media, and all these women are telling a lot of women, oh, you have to run away from a situation the moment it doesn't benefit you personally anymore. Tell me, how are you supposed to grow stronger? Only tough situations, challenges, life situations will make you stronger, and then you will be able to prove to your partner that you are reliable. This is what a relationship is about. Not only taking pictures on the beach, not only posting something for social media.
Like, that's not okay. That's not cool. You made a promise to me and you broke that promise. How am I wrong if I told him who I was and he didn't stick to what he agreed to? Like, that's not love. If you love me, you gonna pay them bills. You gonna do what you told me you was gonna do as a man. All boy is all boy, he get money. He get money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just too much. All these, like, everybody coming for me and stuff like that, and it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not.
Wait a minute, her husband broke his promise, his friend broke her back, and she is upset because everybody is coming for her. Listen, when you put certain information on the internet and people see a certain situation going on in your life, then they're going to react towards it. I know receiving certain reaction from people on the internet all over the place can be overwhelming sometimes, because I had went viral before and a lot of women really didn't say positive things about me, to me, or even about my husband, about my family. But I will say this, if you are wrong, you are wrong. If you are wrong and you have done something that was wrong, then you're going to have to, sit there and admit it. Very simple. So again, life is not only about having a great time. Yes, we would all love to have a great time, but also having a great time comes with having a dark time. At least the man now knows that the woman he was with or he was married to is really not the one for him. And then he also knows that he cannot trust his friend. Like I said, I don't know if this was a skit, but I doubt it. And plus, there are so many similar stories that I've heard like this one. And it's also all on display. It's all over the internet. The main reasons why women leave their relationships is because of money, lack of attention. They don't feel loved anymore. Or they just want to go ahead and live their second childhood, meaning being in the streets again. Those are the main reasons why women file for divorce, which is actually going to be the next video about. It's going to be a woman. This is another good one. It's going to be a woman about a woman who left her husband because she fell in love with some younger guy, with a Chad. But what happens is he hit it and quit it. So the moral of today's story is, don't jump into conclusions. Don't make sudden decisions based off of your emotions. It is always better to sit down, gather your thoughts, gather your emotions, and then talk to the person that you have an issue with. You can never go wrong with that. And when you made a mistake, admit it. Be man or woman enough to admit that you were wrong. That is so much more worth than creating drama because you don't want to take accountability for your actions. We always say this, so you can remember this.
Women are conditioned to deflect accountability. It's an unfortunate thing, but it's something that men have to be consciously aware of to protect themselves from predatory behavior, because there are so many women who are just using men for food and resources right now. They don't actually like you. They just want what you have, and they're going to use you for whatever you have. Guys, these women are not loyal. What do you think regarding this, guys? Because, I mean, come 2030, half of all women will be childless and single in the United States. And that's not even counting single mothers. Factor them in, and we're talking about 70 to 90% of all women being single. Let me know your thoughts. We'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men walking away. And cheers.